All right, simple tips to fire up your candlelight service. Coming up on the Better Sundays podcast. Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. Focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. Greetings. Happy holidays. This is Mike here at the Better Sundays podcast, and we are thrilled to have you with us here today. We are talking about some simple things that you can do to fire up your candlelight service. And no, we're not talking about setting the place on fire. We're talking about doing some things that would make it special and memorable, and people, when it's over, they're going to go, wow, that was an awesome thing. So good to have you here. Thank you for taking time to be with us. We'll be covering several simple topics here, or simple points to this topic in just a little bit. Last week, if you may recall, we covered that last little bit on how to reach moms and dads, or how to reach new moms and dads on Christmas Sunday. And we trust that that has been some helpful stuff for you. If you did not get that podcast or that video, because we are doing this on YouTube as well, you can go backwards and we'll catch that. You can catch it there. So that's what we're talking about here today. So I am excited about it, and we are going to get going on this hot topic. All right, here we go. Hey, there's several things I want you to do at your candlelight service. And by candlelight service, we mean a Christmas Eve candlelight service that is being conducted on Christmas Eve of all days. And it is something that your folks can come to, they can bring their children to, and we're going to really focus on this idea of children, because this is what's going to make it memorable. Moms and dads come to a lot of things all the time, but for parents and grandkids and neighbor kids and whoever to come to a candlelight service and really catch the reason for the season, that is what the focus is. So the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to plan your service and make it simple. Now, what we have done always at our church to make this a very memorable time is we have made it a service that does not have all sorts of special music with all sorts of special people doing special things, because those people want to have Christmas and time with their family. So what I have done is I have always planned the entire service completely by myself as the pastor, and nobody else even was involved in it, hardly in any way at all. We had a few greeters and people to kind of let folks in the building, and we didn't even have, we might have had hot chocolate once or something, but we didn't really have a refreshment thing. We just kept it really low key, and we made the service short. And I want you to make sure you keep your service short, somewhere in that 45-minute range, because first of all, that sets it apart from every other type of church service we have, because we never do anything that short. The second reason is because you can have kids sitting with the adults, and you're not going to run a big nursery and kids programs and all that. You're going to have them sitting right there because you're going to do some special things for them. The third thing is it really gets the focus there when something is short, and it's like, this is going to be short, it's going to be simple, it's going to be good, and you're going to have the kids are going to be involved at the end, and it just really kind of, boom, it allows you to really do it well. Now, we also keep it short because we roll a couple services. We're actually doing 3 candlelight services this year at 4 o'clock, 5:30, and 7, I believe they are, so that we have time to get in between them and do what we need to do, kind of reset. But the idea is to keep it short and just kind of keep it simple. Now, the way our service works, the way that I have set those up, is I use, instead of having a piano player and all that, I use some canned music, and I push the button, and it plays, thing, and we sing, "Oh, come all ye faithful." We sing a song, okay? Then I read some verses, and we sing some song. I read some verses. We sing a song, and read some verses. I explain a little bit about the Christmas story. Keep it very, very simple, and really explain the reason for the season, and then we close out out, always with singing Silent Night. And I always, we have a bunch of little candles that we've ordered from some candle company somewhere. We get those candles. Everybody gets one of those as they come in, so they have it in their hand. The kids know that they're going to get to light a candle and have a fire, a flame in church. And that is a unique thing. And you tell them, sit still. We're going to be getting to those candles in just a few moments, but let's sing this song, O Little Town of Bethlehem. And you sing some of those songs over and over. We sing them multiple times throughout the December, but people never tire of it. And what is really important is now you have parents singing with their kids right next to them. And almost never does this happen because kids are in Sunday school or junior church or somewhere else, but they're in a very subdued atmosphere. And we always turn the lights kind of down low and have just kind of some, lighting around, some subdued lights around the sides. And we have a couple candles going at the front. Sometimes I have like 3 candles going for the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And then I talk about how Jesus came and he was the light of the world. And at the end of the service, then I invite the children to come up and I will have like them light their candle off of one of those candles there, and they will pass it to someone in the flame, to someone in the first row, someone in the second row, someone in the third row, and all of a sudden we have, all these candles going throughout the whole area. As we're doing that, when we close, we kind of stand up and circle around our auditorium. You may not be able to do this, but we circle into a great circle and all face each other, and then we sing a Silent Night together. So that is kind of how we close things out, and then we wish them all a Merry Christmas, and they're all dismissed. So it's a very simple night. The way to keep the fire in it, keep it hot and going, is to have it to be a short, simple service, and it's not a load on anybody, and that is the first thing. The second thing I'd like for you to do this year, you've probably never done this, we're going to be doing it here at ours, is I want you to promote it on Facebook. We want to see new families come to Candlelight service, and you'd be surprised how many new families will come if you advertise it as a special time to bring your children to remember the reason for the season, kind of slow down and kind of catch the real true meaning of Christmas. Believe me, everybody, whether they are, mainline denomination people or secular people or agnostics, whatever, everybody gets burned out at Christmas. There's an awful lot going on during this time of the year. And for us to kind of slow down and have a short 45-minute time with our kids when we can kind of really do that, that needs to be promoted on Facebook so people know that you're doing it. You can print little cards and hand those out ahead of time. We've done all sorts of different things, but one of the best ads we've done is we put them on the Facebook community groups, and you can just put those out. If you are interested in learning how to do things, advertise on Facebook for free through the community groups, I will put a link to a product that we have that you can pick up. It doesn't cost much, but it really, really will help you kind of get going. It's a full training product on how to advertise on Facebook for free. So, but the idea is that you get it on Facebook and you let people know that it is for parents and children and grandchildren and grandparents and children and that type of thing. And they would all come together and spend just a little bit of time slowing down and catching the reason for the season. Now, we do ours early as well. As I mentioned, we have one at 4 o'clock, and it's starting to get dark by then. We have one at 5:30. We wouldn't even need the late one probably, but we have a lot of folks that come, so it just kind of works better to have that last one. But if you have it early, then people can go home and still do all their family things, and that's why, again, you keep it short. So to have a fired up service, number one, you want to make sure that you have this thing short and simple and planned out. And like say, we do the canned music. You just hit and you can use, if you're interested in just plain old hymns, we use worship service resources. Let me say that again, worship service resources. You can get all the standard Christmas hymns, or really any hymn, and they are just like 3 verses of every hymn, and they are played piano style. They are played to be sung to congregationally, not with a lot of the stuff at the ending like solos and things like that would have. So they're made just exactly for something like this. And you just say, now let's all sing that song. And you can print up a bulletin that has the words on it. That works pretty good. So plan it. Simple service. Second one, promote that service. And the third thing here that I want you to do is to make it, really aimed towards the children. And there's a few different things that you can do to aim it towards the children. Number one is let them know ahead of time that they're going to, get a candle. They're going to get to do something kind of fun like that. And we promote that. Man, I talk about that with the kids in Sunday school like 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead of time that they get to do that. The second thing that we like to do is we like to have, and this is about the only thing that I really kind of recruit and get a little extra for, is I like to have someone who's greeting. We dress somebody up outside as a shepherd. We call them the silent shepherd, and we kind of put them in a long robe with the thing on their head, and they have the shepherd's crook. And when kids are coming in, they open the door and they just nod at them, and they don't say anything. They just kind of nod, and the kids are like, "Whoa, this is cool." There's a shepherd there. We've also had a couple of wise men, and that has been kind of fun. I had a couple of staff people that want to do something special, and that turned out to make it really neat. Then at the end of the service, since you're going to make this for kids, at the end of the service, those shepherds and those wise men, when the kids are walking out, they have a little bag of candy or some goodies that they give to the kids. So that works really good. It turns out to be this great tradition, and it really, it becomes a great thing. So these are just some simple things to fire up your service. You can add these to it right now without doing anything. If you already have a service plan, just maybe find someone to be a wise man for you. That would be good. Get some couple little bags of candy to hand out to the kids. That would be good. But promote it on Facebook so that you will get new people to come to the services. That is a great way to do it. And of course, you can keep it short. That's it doesn't have to be a lengthy preaching. Doesn't have to be an exposition of all sorts of a whole nother Christmas sermon. It can be just real simple, and the people will really, really appreciate it. One more little thing that I want to save here for the end that you always need to do, and we mentioned this last week in last week's podcast, is you want to make sure that you are handing out at that time a little card or a pamphlet or something that talks about your January sermon series, what you are going to be doing in January, what you're going to be teaching on, because these people are going to be busy during the holidays. It's unlikely that a lot of people are going to make it to church, especially new people on the, the 26th this year, the day after Christmas. It's unlikely they're going to make it there. But in January, there's that mental reset of getting back to church, and you want them to have a card or something that they have, and they are ready, and they know that they can come to your church and start a new beginning. They can start new family life. They can start, new spiritual strength. They can do something on growth, developing yourself spiritually. There's all sorts of great things that you can do, but make sure that that is promoted and you hand them something and put it into their hand so that they have it when they're going out the door. I don't like to do a lot of promotion during the candlelight service for the next thing. I don't even make announcements. We just don't really do hardly any of that, other than as you head out the door, we're going to hand you a little piece of paper, tell you about what's coming up in January. Boom, let's sing Silent Night and be dismissed. So that's kind of how we promote during that. So you can have a fired up service if you do these things. Again, kind of that whole idea of keep it short and simple, make sure it's focused on the children, and promote it on Facebook, and really create a family tradition, and it's going to be a great thing in your community when you do this. So anyway, this is Mike. Make sure you stay tuned with us throughout the holidays. We have a couple special podcasts that we're doing during the holidays. Brand new stuff coming up in January. Fired up about that, reaching young families through the local church, and going to give you some formulas that we're using that are working for us. So anyway, from me to you, Merry Christmas and God bless you guys. It is a blessing to have you here. As always, if this was a positive thing, hit the little thumb uppy thing right there for me right now. I would appreciate that. Or you can hit the subscribe on YouTube, or you can subscribe on your favorite podcast thing that you're watching there. There's on the YouTube, there's the little people there, the blue people. Click on that and you'll subscribe. So anyway, God bless. It's good to have you here, and we will see you next week right here at the Better Sundays podcast.